Hey, it's me, Class Star, and this is every zombie boss ranked from worst to best. So as always, there's a few clarifications I've got to make before I start off this video. First of all, I'm not including Easter egg bosses such as the Giant Keeper or the Shadow Man, or even the Giant Spider from Zetsubou. I'll have another list for those another day, but what I consider a zombie boss to be is an enemy that's proactively trying to hurt you and isn't just a standard zombie. And I'm going to be ranking each of these zombie bosses just based on how much each of these zombie bosses enhance the gameplay for me. So basically how satisfying they are to kill, how challenging they are, how frequently they show up, and your reward for killing them. This is really subjective because my definition of a good boss could be your exact definition of a bad boss and vice versa. But that's what makes it fun. So before I start the list right now, comment your favorite boss and your least favorite boss. And in this video, we're gonna go for a like goal of 191 likes and 8 dislikes. But with that, let's get into this! In the number 25 spot, and in my opinion, the worst zombie boss in all of zombies has to be the Astronaut Zombie. And before I say anything else, let me just say, I hate this guy. So what this guy does is he'll walk around the map following you, and if you run into him, he'll give you a huge bear hug, and he'll teleport you to a random part of the map and take one of your perks. And it doesn't help that on Moon, whenever you go through a sliding door, the door will close behind you, so you can't see if this guy's gonna be coming or not. Because of this, you have to be really careful whenever you go through these sliding doors. It's just extra paranoia to the game that I wish was never there in the first place. Just look how stupid he walks. Just makes me wanna... Sorry for that. Now moving on to number 24, I hate this guy slightly less than I hate the Astronaut Zombie, but I still hate him so much. But thankfully he's only on one map in the whole series, and that's Zetsubou. It's a Thrasher. So for lack of better words, the Thrasher is basically like the big guy of this map. He'll take you down in one hit if you don't have Jug, and if you do have Jug, he'll red screen you immediately, so if you're already hit by a zombie, you're dead. And if you get hit by a zombie after he hits you, you're dead. And also there's these things called spores on Zetsubou that grow bigger every round until it gets to its maximum size. If you let it go to its maximum size and that spore pops and hits a zombie, they have a good chance at becoming a Thrasher, which means that they can become a Thrasher by round 4, which is ridiculous. Now usually the big guys of zombies, whenever you kill them, you actually get a decent reward. Maybe you get a drop, maybe you get a lot of points, but you know what this guy gives you? Do you really want to know what this guy gives you? He gives you nothing! And so many of them can be in the map at once if it wants to. I'm sorry, I hate this guy so much. Let's just move on. Number 23, I'm sure most of you probably would have this as your worst. And don't get me wrong, I hate this guy, but it's the Denizens, only on transit. So basically what these things are, they're just like baby zombies that whenever you go into the fog, they'll jump on your face, you have to keep knifing and knifing and knifing. They're just really, really annoying. And yes, I really do hate these guys, but the reason it's not last on my list like most of you probably would have it last is because one, they're semi-avoidable. You don't have to deal with it in your game if you really don't want to, but are you really gonna wait for the bus, like the whole entire game, to go where you want? Probably not, which is why I say semi-avoidable. And number 2, they're not that hard to kill. But don't get me wrong, I still hate these things a lot. Alright, so now we're getting to the point where I don't hate these guys anymore. I just find them to be very annoying. And in the number 22 spot, we've got the Avogado. And quite frankly, I don't really know why this guy even exists. I really don't. Like, can someone please tell me why this guy exists? And all he does is pester you with his electric shock, which if you don't have Jug, it's really easy to die to him. But if you do have Jug, I find it really hard to die to him. Like right here in this gameplay, I was trying to let him kill me, but he just couldn't kill me no matter how hard I tried. But if you have EMPs, this guy's really easy to deal with. But right here, I kill him, and guess what you get when you kill him? Nothing! In the number 21 spot, we got another zombie boss from Moon. And I couldn't find the official name for this zombie boss, so I'm just gonna call it the Teleporting Zombie. And they're really the exact same thing as the Nova 6 crawlers, which is my number 20 spot, but there's only one difference, and that's that it teleports, which makes it more of a hassle to try to kill it. And what these things do is that when you kill it, it'll explode, and if you're caught in that explosion, it'll stun you, and if you're not caught in it, but you run into it, it'll blow your vision. Now, Kino is a really fun map, and I really enjoy this map whenever I play it. But if these Nova 6 crawlers were not in this map, I would probably enjoy it a lot more. They just make the map slightly more inconvenient to play, but that's just my opinion. In the number 19 spot, we've got the Shrieker Zombie from Shangri-La. And what this guy does is he'll run at you at a really fast speed and scream at you, which blurs your vision. But other than that, these things are really like the exact same thing as zombies. Like they have the same health as zombies. There's really not much to this guy, except for the fact that he runs really fast and screams. In the number 18 spot, we've got the Napalm Zombie from Shangri-La as well. And although this guy can be a bit of a nuisance sometimes, I really don't find him as annoying as some of the other bosses below this point. But he's really easy to deal with. All you have to do is run up to him, then run away. But I will say if you don't have Jug, it could be really risky. Because if you do that method without Jug, you'll be red screen, so if a zombie hits you right after, you're done for. But when you kill him, you don't really get any kind of special reward except for the fact that when he explodes, he'll leave a fire, and when the zombies go into the fire, they'll die, so it's kind of like a temporary trap. From a number 17 spot, and from a gameplay perspective, I don't really care for this one. I don't like it or dislike it. It's the Furies from Revelations. And they're kind of like the teleporting zombie where they'll kind of teleport toward you. But they won't explode into a gas that's going to stun you though, which is why I prefer these guys to the teleporting zombies. But I still really don't care for these guys from a gameplay perspective. And same thing with the number 16 spot, which is the Keepers. To me, from a gameplay perspective, they just kind of do nothing for me. And they really feel like they're just zombies that aren't zombies. Because they have the same amount of health and it takes the same amount of effort to kill it as a regular zombie. In the number 15 spot, I feel like this is going to be a little controversial because I know a lot of people will probably have this in their bottom 5. But this is George Romero, who's on Call of the Dead. And what this guy does, similar to the Astronaut Zombie, he follows you around the whole map in the hopes of ruining your game. And whenever you shoot him, he'll get really angry and he'll try to run at you and try to kill you. But if you bring him to the water, he'll calm down. But this is going to be really annoying when you accidentally shoot him and you didn't mean to shoot him. Or even when you're playing with friends and your friend accidentally shoots him, you get stunned and the zombies catch up to you and then you can easily die. Now these don't sound like reasons why George Romero should be this high in the list above some of the other ones I mentioned. But there's one really redeeming quality about George Romero. And that's the reward you get for killing him. He does have a ton of health, but with an upgraded scavenger, he's not that hard to kill. And what you get for killing this guy is a free perk and a free temporary wonder waff if you've done the Easter egg before, but if you haven't done the Easter egg before, it's just a death machine. And I will say this is the first boss on this whole list that actually gives you a decent reward for killing it. So you guys could probably tell by now that I really like it when zombie bosses give you rewards for killing them. And also if you have an upgraded VR11 and you shoot him in the water, he'll go away for a little bit too. In the number 14 spot, we've got the Space Monkeys from Ascension. And this is the first zombie boss on this list that has its own dedicated round. And what these guys do is that when they spawn in, they'll go after the perks you have, they'll try to steal your perks. I don't really find these guys as a big hassle, they're just an inconvenience. So if you're on solo and you have at least 4 perks, and you have all the doors open to all the perks, you're almost guaranteed to lose at least one of those perks, at least on Black Ops 1. On Black Ops 2, I'm pretty sure they made it a little bit easier. But correct me if I'm wrong though. But if you go the whole round without a monkey even touching one of the perk machines, you get a free perk as well. Which if you ask me, I'd say that's pretty nice. In the number 13 spot, we've got the Jumping Jacks from Die Rise. And I don't know about you, but I kind of forgot about these before making this list. But this is another zombie boss that has its own dedicated round. And if you complete the round, you get a max ammo, another one of those bosses. And these things just basically jump around the room trying to attack you. I don't know how else to explain it. But if you kill these guys with 100% accuracy or without missing a shot, you can get a free perk. But I'd say the best way to do this is either get the Galvanuckles and knife or get the Trample Steam and just have them die from the Trample Steam. These guys aren't that hard. I don't like them or hate them. I just think they're okay. In the number 12 spot, we've got the Monkeys from Shangri-La. What these things do is whenever there's a drop, they'll take that drop and then they'll cycle through a bunch of other drops while they go back to spawn into the Pack-a-Punch. And if you kill them at the right time, you can get the drop that you want, which at times can be really hard to do. But if you take a power up before the monkey gets to it, the monkey will still come after you, but if you kill that monkey, you get free 500 points, which is awesome. And these monkeys can also give you a perk bottle, which is really hard to do. First of all, the drop has to be in max ammo, and you have to kill the monkey at the right time, right when it's on the perk bottle, which is really hard to do. I've never been able to do it because it's really hard to do. But it is a really nice reward though. In the number 11 spot from Shangri-La, we've got the Meatballs.
Meatball, spaghetti underneath, ravioli, Great Barrier Reef.
And these things kinda have a dedicated round, kinda not. And they also come randomly during zombie rounds too. But in those dedicated rounds, they do give you a max ammo though. And basically what these things do is that they'll roll at you and they'll explode on you. Which they're really easy to kill, you don't even have to use your weapon to kill them if you don't want to. But if you don't have Jug, these things could be really dangerous though. But overall, I think this is a decent zombie boss. In number 10 spot, we got the Valkyrie drones from Gorilla Krovi. And these guys are also another one of the zombie bosses where they have their own dedicated round. And what these things do is that they'll fly around and they'll try to shock you with their little arms. And these things are actually really easy. I mean, really easy. And this is a boss where if you have one left and you have Jug, I'm pretty sure it's like almost impossible to die to it. But without Jug, I'm not sure if that's the case because I've never tried it, but if that was the case, I wouldn't be surprised. But to me, overall, there's not really anything bad about this zombie boss. There's not really anything that special about it either. In the number 9 spot, we got the Parasites, which are from Shadows of Evil and Revelations. And this is another one of those bosses that has its own dedicated round, but also shows up randomly in zombie rounds too. And what these guys do is very similar to the Valkyrie drones. They'll fly around, they'll shoot you with whatever it is they shoot out of their mouths. And these things are actually really easy to kill. I find that it's really hard to die to these things alone, especially if you have Jug. I mean, unless there's a bunch of them at once though. In the number 8 spot, we got the spiders from Zetsubou no Shima, and you know what? I actually like the spiders. What these things will do is that they'll come towards you in the really awkward pattern, they'll try to hit you, and they'll also try to shoot their little webs at you too. And these things also have their own dedicated round where you get a max ammo for killing them all. And Widow's Wine doesn't work on them, which I think is good, because if it did work on them, they would die way too quickly. Also, these things will block off doorways with their webs, which can be easily broken and also beneficial for training sometimes, because zombies won't be able to get through there. Overall, I think the spiders are a good boss. In the number 7 spot, we got the witches from Buried. And the witches, they won't appear at all in your game of Buried unless you go in the witch's house. And when you go through the witch's house, it's a bit of a risk-reward factor. The risk is that every single time a witch hits you, you lose 2,000 points. But no matter how many points you lose, if you kill all the witches in the house, you get a free perk, which is really easy to do. And then every 5 to 6 rounds, you can come back for another free perk. These things are really easy to kill, but they give a really nice reward. In the number 6 spot, I know this is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but I've got the Pentagon Thief from 5. And contrary to what I'm sure most of you think, I actually really like the Pentagon Thief. This guy has his own dedicated round, and what he does is he'll take whatever weapon you have out, and then he'll take you to the 3rd level of the map. And if you kill him on the 3rd level, he'll give you a max ammo and a fire sale, and you get your weapon back. But if you don't kill him, you still get a max ammo, but you do lose your weapon though. And I must say, if you know how to kill him, he's really easy to kill, but if you don't know how to kill him, he can be really difficult. But if you manage to kill him before he even takes one of your weapons, not only do you get a max ammo, you get a bonfire sale. And with that bonfire sale, you can go to Pack Punch and pack punch your weapons for just 1,000 points. It's really such a nice reward, which is most of the reason why I like this guy. And there's not one scenario where this guy alone can single-handedly kill you, so this is literally a free round no matter what. Even if he takes your weapon, you're guaranteed to get through the round unless you kill yourself. In the number 5 spot, we got the Panzer Soldat who are on Origins and Dreisendrach. And this guy is a big guy who will run at you with his flamethrower, and on Origins he has a claw to suck you in, and on Dreisendrach he has these little shock charges that stun you. But in Origins, where the Panzer has the claw, if you get sucked into that claw and you don't have a good weapon, you are so screwed. Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Which is why I think on Origins they should make this guy spawn at round 12 instead of round 8, but that's just me. But aside from that, I think the Panzer adds a really great challenge to the game, and he gives you a random drop if you kill him. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we got the Hellhounds, who are on a bunch of maps. And this is probably the most classic zombie boss in the whole series. But those of you who are at my Shinonuma high round stream, you guys know I'm pretty bitter about this one. No! That's why, oh, no, go. No, what? I was 2-hit! On World at War, these dogs are kind of glitchy to where they'll kill you even though the game says you're barely hurt. But then on Black Ops 3, they're really easy to kill. So I think the Black Ops 1 is just the perfect version of these dogs. They're not too hard and they're not too easy. They have their own dedicated round to where if you kill all the dogs, you get a max ammo. And on maps like Deriz and Dreisendrach, they'll come in the middle of zombie rounds too. And to be honest, I think on a map like Kino der Toten, they should have had dogs come in the middle of zombie rounds. I think it would make the game more challenging in a good way. In the number 3 spot, it's the Margwa from Shadows of Evil and Revelations. And what this guy does is when he spawns into the map, you'll have 3 heads. You have to shoot off each of his heads and then you can kill him. But every single time you shoot at one of those heads, he gives you 500 points. And there's 3 heads, so you get 1,500 points just for killing this guy the way you're supposed to. And this guy's also really strong. If he does his pound attack on you, even if you have Jug, you'll just insta down. And also, if you kill him, gives you a free drop. So overall, I think the Margwa is a really great challenge as a boss, and I'm actually really glad it exists. In the number 2 spot, we've got the Russian Mangler from Gorod Krovi. And what this guy does is he'll walk at you while also shooting one of his energy launchers at you. And this is another one of those bosses that I feel like provides such a good challenge to the game. He can do a bit of damage to you, but he's really easy to kill at the same time. And because he shoots that little energy launcher at you, it gives you the incentive in the game to want to kill him right away, right when he's there. And when you kill him, he gives you a free drop. And I don't have that much of a problem with how much this guy spawns in. Maybe he spawns in a little bit too much, but it's not that big of a problem for me. Overall, I think the Russian Mangler is a great boss in Gorod Krovi, but comes just short to our number 1 spot. He's also kind of similar to the Mangler in a way. And that is Brutus from Mob of the Dead. And Brutus is one of those bosses, he's easy to kill, but he can also do a lot of damage to you if he gets to you. So Brutus, just like the Russian Mangler, is one of those bosses that's going to spawn in at any point past a certain round. I just feel like he's that good balance of not being really hard, but he's not by any means that easy. And Brutus can also disable a workbench, the mystery box, a perk machine, or anything which I know most people might think is annoying, but gives you more of an incentive to try to kill him as soon as possible. And when you kill him, he gives you a free drop too, which is always good. And he gives you so many points, because if you shoot his helmet off, you get 250 points, and by killing him, you get 750 points, which is a total of 1,000 points you're playing solo. And he also gives your teammates 500 points just for existing in the game. The thing is, I'm not even that big of a fan of Mob of the Dead. I just think Brutus is a great boss, and the best boss in the series. Whether you agree with this list or not, I still hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless. And if you didn't agree with this list, how would you have ranked it differently? I really want to know. Or also, what are your standards for a good boss? Well, if you enjoy my content at all, please subscribe to my channel for more. If you want to see a stream that you've missed from me, subscribe to me at Clestar Streams and you can see a stream that you've missed from me. Follow me on Twitter at @theclestar, and then you can vote for the next worst to best list. Do you want it to be worst to best drops, worst to best specialists, worst to best buildables, or worst to best tactical or special grenades? So that's things like the monkey bombs or the Gersh device or Lil Arnie's. Please vote on Twitter at @theclestar to let me know. And lastly, put on those notifications, alright? You can be the first one here, and you can save first in the comments, and nobody could have anything against you because you were actually the first one there. And as you know, we're going for a like goal of 191 likes and 8 dislikes. Can we do it? If we can do that, then that will be well appreciated. So with that, I'll see you in the next video!